Hey guys, today's video is going to be about tag dueling. Of course I didn't make a video yesterday, but I thought I'd make another one. So yeah, recently on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I've been playing tag duels. It's one of the things that separates Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro from the Dueling Network. Obviously the big difference between the two is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro is automated, so it resolves card effects, it does all of that stuff for you. You just have to activate and play cards, and you just get to assign the phase and so on. Unlike Dueling Network, where you actually have to make the effects go through, it causes people to whine about everything. You get the players on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, there's a lot less of them, but overall, because of the fact of the system, the program actually doing it for you, there's less whining and there's less admins. There's no need for admins whatsoever. The game just plays itself. Yeah, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro has tag dueling, which I've had experience of in the past, but the way that they've done it is that basically there's 4 players, and you play your turn if you go first, and then your opponent plays his turn, and then on the 3rd turn the person after you goes, and then on the 4th turn the second player of that team goes. So that is cool. That means that if you were to implement that into real life, you could just have both players of each team have different colored sleeves, so that you can, obviously after the game is finished, you can kind of allocate the right cards. Yeah, it means that you both share the same board, and it means that you have different extra decks, because obviously some decks, I'm not going to have 6 Samurai Shien in my extra deck, and so on. One other benefit is that if you do tag duel in following those rules, you can both have the same deck, and it kind of like gives you a really good advantage. Some decks are, for instance, if you're playing against one guy who has Dark World and his tag partner has agents, then the agent player who's running BLS will have a significant bonus, because they won't have to worry, oh, I need to play my tour guide to get my dark target. They just need to wait for the opponent to put one of their tour guides in the graveyard or one of their Dark Worlds, because they discard all the time. So it's a really good benefit, but when it comes down to actually playing the same deck, you can both really get an advantage. Stuff like Rescue Rabbit, for instance, if you both play the same Rescue Rabbit deck, your chances of drawing into that Largia set 4 is so much better. You both have 2 rabbits in your deck, so now you've suddenly got 4 rabbits, and then if you both draw into rabbits, you can just keep making Evazars. It's really fun, but there's a big problem, and that the fact is that it comes down to your opponent. You're not so much shouting at your opponent anymore, you're more or less shouting at your tag partner. It's really annoying when you're playing with them and they just don't do anything. Like, you kind of expect, thinking, okay, if I go first and I've won the rock paper scissors and I go first, and I'm thinking, okay, so I need to set up the field so that the player, he's going to go, his turn is going to go back to me, to my partner, and he will have his go, and I'm thinking, by the time that he gets to make any move whatsoever, my opponent's set a couple of cards, he's got monsters on the field, he's got field presence. So it makes sense that if you open up and you're going first and you open up with Heavy Storm, you set it, and you set a couple of cards as well, so that you're giving your partner, when it's his go, you're giving him something to work with, so that he can just flip up Heavy Storm without having to use cards in his hand, so that when it comes down to your turn, he's set up his field and he's got his presence, and then you've only got like 2 or 3 cards left in your hand because you've set the rest of them for him, and then you can just sort of like maintain the board while he's playing. So basically going 3rd or going 4th is where the plays happen. And what I've found out is that if you go first, you can't really do anything, and if your partner doesn't realize that, doesn't understand the mechanic of how to do a tag duel without really being like effectively winning a tag duel, because you have to understand the fact that you're playing against 4 torrential tributes, you're playing against tons of mirror forces, you're playing against Call the Horns, you're playing against 2 dark holes, 2 you can't commit to the field by playing little plays. If you're gonna try and take the board, you're gonna have to set up Stardust Dragon, you have to set up things that can keep coming back and keep stopping cards. Stuff like Thunder King can screw over 2 players at once. It's really that good. So it's all about thinking, how can you benefit your partner rather than just benefit myself. And obviously, what cards do I need to set for my hand, so that when it's my turn again, I still have plays. However, what cards do I need to set so that my partner can benefit from them? You know, stuff like Call the Haunted first turn. It's useless to you unless you have a monster in your grave, but they're going to be able to use it, so they might as well just give them the benefit of that Call the Haunted without you having to wait 3 or 4 turns, because by that point they've MST'd it and it's gone. It's worth thinking about. And obviously stuff like, as I said, playing with the same decks means that you can do stuff like Call the Haunted on a Stratus, and then you can search, and then you can just get it set and basically keep abusing the same card over and over again. However, just for the benefit of finishing this video, I would like to show you a example of me playing on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro and getting completely fucked by my opponent so bad in a tag duel that I was just pissed off. So I would love to show you by recording the screen, but because my computer is so bad, I'm just going to record using the camera, so bear with me for a minute. Okay guys, so I'm just going to show you, hopefully you can see the camera well. I'm not sure how it will come up on the YouTube video, but I just want to quickly show a replay of getting beaten really badly in a tag duel. And I had to go, I think I did go first, and it was pretty embarrassing, and you get to see it happen, so just keep up. Yeah, I'll just, yeah, I was playing Hunders, so I set Thunder King in set 2, and it was up to him. And he ended up going, thinking, oh god, look at his hand, it's really bad. And my opponent just kind of like ended the turn, didn't attack or anything. I was really pissed off of that, thinking, what was he doing? But he just ended up, look at this hand. He managed to get all 3 rekindlings in his hand, and he, as you can notice, that just happened. He used Ancient Leaf because he has so many life points. You know, he can just use Ancient Leaf because he needs to have more than 9,000 life points, so it's a really good draw engine, and his deck was catered for the tag match, so you can see the benefit. So he managed to set up his entire graveyard with Lavals, and he just begins special summoning loads of synchros. So my tag partner who was doing all the controlling, he ended up Solemning and then Thunder King, and it's obvious that Lavals are going to make Shooting Quasar, so he goes and makes Shooting Quasar, and we have absolutely no cards to stop it anymore. So he uses another Rekindling to make another Quasar. So he uses the effect to shuffle the other 2 cards back. He makes another Quasar, attacks with both again. That's it. That's it. He attacks for 8,000 twice with both monsters. That is it. Oh my god. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's a really good example of, you know, understanding how a deck works, and, you know, relying on your partner to use the cards that you've given them effectively. And it's really this is a really good example of your partner not thinking right. And obviously I'm not pissed off that I got double Quasar for game. I'm pissed off that my opponent didn't notice that, because he went off and completely started making synchros and all that, and there was 2 face downs, and it's like you don't have any kind of like thinking that there might be a torrential. So my opponent was playing into my traps and playing into my Thunder King. It's like he wouldn't have cared, he would have just made Quasar anyway. I would have Thunder Kinged and that would have been that. So, you know, it's that kind of thing that comes with tag dueling, is that your partner just needs to understand the game, and if they don't, it's like all you want to do is just shout at them and say how bad they are. But I really try not to, because sometimes they're just not very good in general, and it's like you can't really blame them for that, because they just need to get better. So yeah, I hope that was interesting to watch. So yeah, tag dueling is good when it works, when you're playing with friends who are also just as good as you, and they understand how your mindset is when it comes to playing the game. It really gives you a significant advantage over your opponents in the tag duel. However, could Konami implement this into a YCS? I reckon they could, but you know, it would actually introduce a kind of community feeling into the game, where you know, you have 4 friends and you all just play the same duel, so that you're all playing with each other. It's like that just sounds fun. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. My next video will be in a few days, I reckon, because I've got less to do now. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and until next time, the Thetcglover is out.